Welcome to Cox Connections, a link between you, our customers, and what's happening in the community we share. I'm Kim Stanley, Vice President of Operations for Cox Roanoke. A recent study supports the notion that a properly and continuously promoted outdoor industry would grow and contribute a sizable amount to the region's economy. The Roanoke Regional Partnership has been working on this mission. Pete Eshelman, Director of Outdoor Branding, and Beth Dowdy, Executive Director of the Roanoke Regional Partnership, are here to tell us more about the study and upcoming events. Good to see both of you today.
Good to see you.
Yeah, so a benchmark study was completed.
Yes.
And what does that mean for Roanoke?
Well, we've been working on this outdoor initiative at the Roanoke Regional Partnership for almost 3 years now. And we were working on our understanding of what we thought the potential was in the market. And so we took a step back to look and document what that potential was. We did a benchmark study that analyzed the range of amenities that relate to the outdoors, things like outdoor events, things like different venues, whether it's water, whether it's bike trails, whether it's hiking trails, and categorized them and compared them to other cities that we consider peer communities: Boulder, Colorado, Portland, Maine, Greenville, South Carolina, Chattanooga, and Asheville. And what that study told us was that in terms of the number of outdoor amenities we had, we were very, very competitive. In terms of the diversity of those amenities, we were very, very competitive, superior. And overall, we ranked a third out of all those peer communities. And where we're really lacking is in the business segment of those, the kinds of businesses that serve the outdoors. And that to us really justifies and identifies the opportunity that we have to grow an economic sector that relates to the outdoors.
Wow, that's impressive. So what kind of economic impact do you feel would benefit or have on the Roanoke area through on the industry, through the outdoor industry?
Well, the outdoor industry is $731 billion, and certainly in $731 billion, that seems to leave a lot of room where we can take advantage of that, where we can have a piece of that. It's a growing sector of the economy, it's a progressive sector of the economy, and it's a large sector of the economy that certainly leaves opportunity for the Roanoke region.
So just a small percent would have a huge impact. Those are some big numbers.
1 in 20, workers are employed by the outdoor industry.
Okay.
And it's often overlooked.
Right.
And so that's what we're really trying to do, is bring attention to it, because we do have some incredible assets right here.
What can the community do? What do we need to do from a culture perspective, to take advantage of this?
Well, for any type of brand to be sustainable, long term, which is what we're going for, the community has to believe in it. That has to be part of their community narrative. And so it's really vital that everybody's in sync with the community, the local governments, and the businesses, that we're all on point with our messaging, where we want our community to be going, the direction we want to be going, and we need to lead them there. And that's, I think we're definitely making inroads in that area, but there's definitely opportunities to continue doing that, such as really focused on developing our infrastructure. And by that I mean really focusing at gateway resources or gateway activities that allow people to get out there and engage in the outdoors. And our greenways is a prime example of that. It's anybody can get out there and do it. It doesn't really cost them anything. They can go out there and walk on it. Next thing you know, they're renting a bike and riding on it. Then maybe they're buying a bike, then they're going off trail, and it leads to a healthier, active community.
Wow.
And the other thing about developing businesses that relate to the outdoors, it only enhances the outdoor sector. It complements the natural amenities that we already have here, makes them more accessible to people, find new ways to make them accessible to people, and expose people to a broader range of those outdoor amenities.
Right. So what kind of businesses would you like to see created? I mean, it's a huge industry, but do we want to focus on a certain type of business, or is it just all,
Well, there's, when I'm talking about, there's kind of 3 different categories we go after. Those are the companies that are directly related to the outdoor industry, like they might manufacture bicycles or backpacks or clothing. There's the companies where the outdoors is they don't necessarily directly manufacture any outdoor products, but it's part of their company brand, or their employee culture. A lot of IT companies, for example, that can be located anywhere might choose to be here for the quality of life and its proximity and access to the outdoors. And then the other is how it helps us attract talent, attract those individuals that are looking for a cool, hip outdoor place to live, and then once they move there, they find jobs or they create jobs.
Right, so really, any of the above, it sounds like.
It is. In today's world, there are lots of different ways to create jobs, and there are two schools of thought: that people follow jobs or that jobs follow people. And I think the answer is in both of those categories. So it's not only important to attract business, but it's also important to attract people who want to be, who can live anywhere and are going to choose the place they live first, and then they'll figure out what they're going to do for a living, or they can bring their work with them. And so you really have a kind of a broad view of it. And the other thing are businesses that really are part of the outdoors. Companies, Outfitters is a great example, or companies that provide a service related to the outdoors, whether that would be training or adventure or whatever. So there's a lot of opportunity.
Really is.
And because we have this kind of crossroad to the outdoors: Smith Mountain Lake, the Appalachian Trail, the Blue Ridge Parkway, the James River, Carvin's Cove, lots of other places. It really is a very well-rounded product offering, so to speak.
It just fits well with our natural amenities,
Oh,
that's
it really
for
does.
sure. But I think the other key thing, real quick, is the population growth and what it would do with young professionals by having this outdoor brand continue to grow and resonate with Roanoke. But
Right. Well, we've seen some evidence of that.
Okay.
We've seen some outcome measures where the latest census data indicates that the coveted 25 to 34-year-old demographic is growing, and that hasn't happened for a long time. 5 years ago, you couldn't tell that story, and I have to think that that's partially related to the story we're telling and the identification that so many people have with the outdoors.
Right. Well, we've got to wrap up, but I did real quick want to mention we got the Blue Ridge Marathon, which I think is awesome, but they can check your website. But how do people get in touch with the Roanoke Regional Partnership?
We have a couple different ways. Our main website is roanoke.org.
Okay.
RoanokeOutside.com if they want to find a hike, download some maps. And then we have a new initiative called Get to Know Noke. Get and then the number 2 know Noke.com.
Okay, great. Lots of different ways. Thank you both for being on the
Thank
show.
you.
Good
Thanks
to
for
see
the
you.
opportunity.
Absolutely. Coming up, find out how the Salvation Army is impacting the lives of Roanoke Valley residents.